Hello and welcome to Speak Out with Danielle, where I will be asking 6 questions about how lockdown is for our guests. Today's guest is Sue Winter. Sue, can you say a little bit about yourself, please?
Hello, hi Danielle. Yeah, I work for Amaze and I run the Amazing Futures project, which is a peer support project for young people aged 14 to 25 with special education needs and disabilities. And I've been doing that for a few years now. And before that, I used to work with parents whose children were going through transition to adulthood. So I knew a lot of the parents before I knew some of the young people. And I am somebody that enjoys the summer. So I've had a lovely summer this year and was very grateful that lockdown allowed us to do stuff in the parks. So I've been out on my bike a lot, I've been swimming in the sea, and I've been walking up on the downs a lot.
What, what was it like for you being in lockdown?
Well, it was a bit of a shock at first when we all had to suddenly work from home, because I'm somebody that's been very much, I don't want to work from home. I do another project, which is an art project for disabled young people. So I have to do that from home as well as in the Link College. But my Amaze work, I've always very much done face-to-face work with young people. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, how's this going to work? And the first thing I had to get to grips with was using Zoom. So we'd set up a lot of Zoom groups for young people. And it was lovely. It actually kept me going through lockdown. So yeah, we did that. And I had to adjust to working from home and not having the IT support from some of the young people. I had a new phone and that was challenging because I couldn't say, help me with this phone, because they're much better with using phones than I am.
Did you learn any new skills during lockdown?
Yes, I feel like, as I say, I had to come to grips with Zoom very quickly, as did most people who were working. And also, I facilitate groups a lot, but having to do it on Zoom is very different. And, some of the young people who have communication difficulties and things like that. So things like, all the different functions on Zoom, I hadn't realized that you could do sort of one-to-one chats, things like that. I had to realize that actually I needed to switch that off because that wasn't okay for people to be able to have private conversations in terms of safeguarding concerns. And also, as I say, I had to learn a whole set of, come to grips with a whole new phone, which I struggled with.
What things have you done since lockdown was lifted?
Well, work-wise, as I said earlier, it was really lovely to be able to run small groups for young people in the parks. So I've been cycling all over Brighton and Hove, up to Hove Park and Queen's Park and Preston Park, with lots of like sports stuff, footballs and frisbees. And so we've done sort of socially distanced groups. And I cut up a picnic blanket or 2 picnic blankets so that each person could sit 2 meters apart on their little square of picnic blanket. Yes, and we've had some interesting things where I thought, what's that smell? And then lifted up a picnic blanket and saw that one young person had put it squash on some dog mess, which wasn't very pleasant. And then I had to rush home at the end of every day and wash them really thoroughly and then hang them out ready for the next day's session. But that has been really lovely, seeing young people face to face in the small groups, those that felt up for coming and doing that.
If we had to go into lockdown again, what would you do differently?
Um, well, I think I'd like to pass on some of the mindfulness techniques that I learned during lockdown. I work at Community Base, which is in the centre of Brighton, which houses a lot of charities. And they offered a free mindfulness course during lockdown that was online, Zoom. And I was like, oh, how would that be? And now that I've learned those techniques, that I would like to pass those on to some of the strategies you can use to help. Yeah, if I think that could be quite helpful.
What has helped you through these changing times, and what advice would you give to other people?
Well, I have to say the fact that I was able to continue working really helped me. I'm also very lucky. I have a very supportive partner who I live with, and we both were working. So we had some sort of routine. But the other thing I found incredibly helpful was doing exercise every morning. I get up very early because my partner drives a recycling truck. So once once I've dropped her at work, then what I do is I tend to go up onto the downs and walk for an hour, and that was wonderful. And also, so what I would say to people is what I've been saying to the young people that we work with. The peer support project Amazing Futures promotes the 5 ways to well-being. So one of them is being active. So I would definitely say keep active and also get that fresh air. It really makes a difference and boosts your immune. Learn something new, and that could be baking or whatever. And like I say, learning Zoom and learning mindfulness was brilliant for me. Then taking notice. So notice how you're feeling, but notice how other people are feeling, but also notice your surroundings. And we were lucky through lockdown that it was beautiful spring. So, you know, you could hear the birds because you couldn't hear the traffic. And yeah, really noticing that. The other 2 things, and I'm just gone slightly blank now, are giving. So give, you know, if you're volunteering, do something like that, even if it's just ringing up your neighbor to check that they're all right, or your nan, or, you know, reaching out to people. So giving. And the last one is, okay, and the most important one really is connecting with other people. And I think during lockdown, it can be very hard if you are, say, living on your own, or, you know, so really the importance of trying to connect with people. And that's what we did with the Zoom groups, that at least people could see one another and keep in touch with one another. So yeah, try in some ways to keep connected, whether you FaceTime, whether you do Zoom, whatever it is. That's really important.
That was your last question.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you for coming on to speak with Danielle Sue. And thank you for watching.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Goodbye.